Facebook. Welcome to Brunch Break, episode 38. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about screwing the scale. Yes, I said it, and I'm giving you permission to do the same. My name is Bethany Stek-Janacek, also known as Mrs. Love Chard, and I come here to you on the Love Chard page every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. to share with you my journey of overcoming emotional eating, weight loss, and so much more that I've got from this lifestyle and this transformation and this overall journey. And I'm here to help you guys live the most abundant, happy, healthy life possible. So welcome to Brunch Break. Hi, Debbie. So let me tell you let me start this episode with a little story time. So about 5 years ago, it's about 4.5 years ago now, May 19th, 2013, I made the decision to make a change. I was 233 pounds. I was a severe emotional eater. I was overrun by food addiction and junk food and my own thoughts. And what I mean by that is I was horrible to myself. And I was just not in a good place. Healthy, I was not in a healthy place. I was not in a good mindset. I was not at a good weight, and something had to change. So I made the decision to make a change, and I started putting in action steps, right? And to this day, I've lost over 80 pounds. I have healed emotional eating. I have overcome my self-esteem issues and all these things, right? But that didn't come without struggle. It didn't come without stressors and obstacles and times where I effed up, And one of these particular times, I was weighing myself every 2 weeks, which was okay for me. Some people have a really tough time staying off the scale for 2 weeks. And we'll talk all about that on this episode. But so I was weighing myself every 2 weeks, and there was a week where I busted so hard at the gym. I was working with a personal trainer at the time, doing a lot of strength training. I was building a lot of muscle and losing weight and fat as well. And so this particular day, I got on the scale. It was my weigh-in day, and I didn't lose anything. Nothing. And I'm like, 2 weeks of eating whole foods, 2 weeks of, working out. Like, how am I not losing weight? How am I not getting anywhere? This was a few months into my journey, and I had seen, declined weight on the scale every single week up until this point. So I got frustrated. I got in my car and I started looking for which fast food I was going to go to. Which fast food am I going to break my, am I going to eat my emotions away with today? I drove by tons of options. I drove by Chili's and Applebee's. I drove by McDonald's and Wendy's and Dairy Queen. I drove by all these places, and nothing sounded good. I kept driving. This was probably like an hour long. Like, I probably did drive like for a long time. This light, I think, is too bright. I got this new phone thing, and it's a little bright, but so I drove. And finally I landed at Red Robin. And if you're familiar with Red Robin, they have bottomless, like, Parmesan garlic seasoned fries. I honestly don't even know how many baskets I got. I for sure got at least 5. I just said, keep the fries coming. And I just sat there, and I got them well done too, which means they're just more cooked, more burned, or not burned, but more oil in it, more crunchy. I got at least 5 baskets, probably more. And I just sat there and just kept eating the fries over and over and over. And all I could think about was this damn scale. Why is the scale not moving? Why didn't I've been working so hard, and what gives? And here's the thing with the scale, guys. First off, it has no idea, just a traditional scale, has no idea what you're eating. It has no idea what you're thinking, what you're feeling. It has no idea if your pants are feeling looser. It has no idea that you can do a full push-up now. Like, the scale doesn't know that stuff. And while the scale is an indicator, it may be, right? usually that is a result of all your action steps that you're putting in, right? So if you're eating healthfully, if you are not overeating or recreational eating, binge eating, things like that, if you are, moving, if you are sleeping well, if you are getting enough water, all these things, the weight loss is a side effect and it will come, right? But the weight on the scale is not the only indicator of health. So many people are judging their entire success based on what that number tells you on the scale when you stand on it. And it pisses me off because that scale has no clue how hard you're working, what you're putting in, and what your day-to-day looks like. It has no idea. And, to go on that fact too, you can lose weight doing anything. You can lose weight eating dirt. You can lose weight starving yourself. You can lose weight, chemo patients lose weight. You can lose weight eating McDonald's. You can lose weight doing anything. And so the scale doesn't know what you're doing that could be potentially harmful to make you lose weight, right? So we want to ask ourselves, if we are losing weight and stepping on the scale, are we doing so in a healthful way, right? We're not starving ourselves, we're not binging and purging, that kind of thing, right? We just want to make sure that the scale is not our zoned in focus. We can't be so zoned in on the scale. We have to look at all of these other factors that are contributing to our healthy lifestyle and to our success. We need to gauge our success in other ways. We have to, because the scale doesn't know you. So we need to stop with counting on the scale to make us feel successful, to show us that we are worth anything, because your worth leaps and bounds above anything that has to do with the scale at all. And I know sometimes it can be tough to stay off the scale. I've been there. It can be super tough to stay off the scale. But ask yourself, what other ways can you gauge your success, your movement forward on that doesn't have anything to do with a fictitious number on a scale? What other ways can you gauge your success by? I would measure, in addition to weighing every 2 weeks, I don't know what number that was, 2. I would measure. I measured around my chest. I measured around my shoulders, my waist, my hips, my thighs. I even measured around my wrist, and I lost a lot on around my wrist and my neck too. So you can see your body go down, move physically, visually down in size with measurements that the scale may not read, right? You may lose 2 inches and the scale stayed the same. Well, you are moving forward if you're losing inches, right? Also, what I did was I took progress pictures. That same day that I would weigh in, stripped down to bra and underwear. If you guys have been following me for a while, you've probably seen some of my before and after bra and underwear shots. But I would take a picture, same, pose every 2 weeks in my bra and underwear. And when I would put those side by side on a day that I didn't lose any weight, on the scale, I could look at the measurements and I could look at the pictures side by side and I could look at my journal and I can be like, you know what? I'm crushing it. Screw the scale, right? That doesn't mean that the scale is wrong. It just means it's one indicator, one indicator of all of these other things that could be, that are really, really great indicators of you moving forward as well. The other thing too, speaking of the scale not being wrong or right, the scale, you can fluctuate in body weight up to 7 or 9 pounds in a day. We can't rely on something where our body is always moving and always fluctuating, right? In any given day. Salt intake will have us hold on to more weight on the scale. And so there's all those other factors too that sometimes we aren't thinking about when we step on that scale. So what other things can you use in your lifestyle journey that are indicators of success that have nothing to do with the number on the scale? So I want you to think about that, okay? Screw the scale. You have my permission to screw the scale, and let's start to look at lifestyle overall and not get so focused on this one number. The last thing I'll leave you guys with is this. Now, while weight loss is usually an outcome, right, of a healthful lifestyle, a lot of people have a goal of losing 20 pounds or so, or whatever it is. I'm really, really big on this. My clients will tell you this as well. Do not put a date on a pound, losing a certain pound by I want to lose 20 pounds by March 1st. Because what's going to happen on March 1st? Like, let's say you do this. What's going to happen on March 1st if you didn't lose 20 pounds? What's going to happen? Are you going to step on the scale and think that you're a failure? Are you going to put unneeded pressure on yourself between now and March 1st to get to that made up number? So I don't want you guys to put dates on stuff either, because that can lead to emotional eating. That can lead to, really aggressive things that aren't helpful and aren't, really optimal until that date. So take the date off. How does that feel when you remove that date that must lose 20 pounds by this date? How does it feel when you release that pressure of that? And just be like, the weight loss is going to come. I'm doing it, and I'm going to focus on all these other indicators of my transformation and my journey instead of the number on the scale, and instead of putting a made-up date on it too. Because most of the time, where are those dates coming from even? Where are the numbers? Where are the numbers coming from? I want to lose 20 pounds by March 1st. Where did that come from? So a lot of times we're just throwing stuff out there because that'd be really great, right? But then we lose the journey and all the other things that come on with it because we're only thinking 20 pounds until March 1st, 20 pounds by March 1st, 20 pounds by March 1st, I gotta do it. And then we start to just get caught up in all these numbers and all this, fictitious stuff. So I really want you guys to focus on you, focus on so many other indicators that are telling you that you are living a healthful life, you're moving forward, right? Are we enjoying our food? Are we laughing? Are we, getting support by others? Are we doing all these other things, right? Because that's where a lot of growth is in all those areas. And usually that scale is just holding us back from what we can really see and feel about ourselves, all right? So screw the scale. You have my permission. Have an awesome rest of your week, guys. And if you would like extra support, extra guidance, the tools needed for you to get you where you want to go handed to you, shoot me a message and let's chat about where you're at right now, maybe why you're stuck, and I will help you get to where you want to go. You can also visit my website, NutriBabe Nation, which is my monthly membership site. All the details, all the testimonials, and information about this monthly membership site are at NutriBabeNation.com. Our members love this membership site. It's different than anything else you have ever been a part of. I promise you that. I built something that does not exist in this world. And it's not just food, it's all lifestyle type stuff. So we really are on your journey of overall optimal health, and I'm not just telling you go eat a salad and you'll be good. There's so much more than that. Everything's intertwined, everything's connected, and I can't wait for you to be a part of it, and I can't wait to be a part of your journey. So if that would be up your alley, head to NutriBabeNation.com. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message, and let's chat. Have a good Tuesday, guys. Bye.